Afternoon, or perhaps good evening. Today we are going to talk about a kind of poetry called free verse. Free verse poems. Do you ever wish you had a day where you could do whatever you wanted? Maybe you would eat chocolate cake for every meal and have recess all day at school. You wouldn't have to do homework, floss your teeth, or eat your vegetables. As wonderful as a day like this would be, the reality is that rules seem to be everywhere, except for one type of poetry. Free verse poems are poems with no specific rules or patterns that poets must follow when writing. If free verse poems were kids, they would stay up past their bedtimes and eat dessert before dinner every night. Free verse poems can be short or long and about any topic. They do not have set number of words or syllables per line. In rhyming poems, the end of each line will usually have a rhyme scheme or some set pattern. Let's take a look at a poem about poetry. Friendship is wonderful. Friendship is grand. When we go through life hand in hand. Friendship is trust. Friendship is a lovely heart. When we go through life, never apart. This poem has a pattern. Line A does not rhyme, but the next two lines, grand and hand, rhyme. Line C does not rhyme, but the next two lines rhyme, heart and apart. Free verse poems do not have a rhyme scheme. They might have a few words that rhyme, but they do not follow a set pattern, and the rhymes randomly occur in the poem. Free verse poems can be written about a wide variety of topics and can look very different on the page. The poet only needs to think of a topic and figure out what he or she would like to express to the reader through the poem. A simple example of free verse poetry is this poem called Brussels Sprouts. This poem does not have a rhyme scheme because none of the words in this particular poem rhyme. Let's take a look at the poem. Yummy, green balls of nutrition. I love them, drizzling in butter. I want more. Also, you'll see that there is no pattern to the number of words or syllables in a line and no specific rhythm. It's a free verse poem because it does not follow any set rules and is simply about the absolute deliciousness of everyone's favorite vegetable, the Brussels sprout. What? That's not your favorite vegetable? Here's another example of a free verse poem because it does not follow a set rhyme, scheme, rhythm, or pattern. Although floor and before rhyme, there are no other rhyming words in the poem, and each line has a different number of words and syllables. It's also interesting that this poem is about doing something that's original and never been done before, kind of like doing your own thinking and free writing free verse poetry without any rules. This one's called Put Something In, and it is by Shel Silverstein. Draw a crazy picture, write a nutty poem, sing a mumble-gumble song, whistle through your comb, do a loony-goony dance, cross the kitchen floor, put something silly in the world that ain't been there before. In summary, free verse poems have no specific rules or patterns. They do not follow a rhyme scheme, and they have no specific rhythm. Free verse poems do not have a set number of syllables or words per line. Free verse poems can be about any topic and can be of any length. It's quiz time. When you go back to Schoology, there'll be a short quiz on free verse poetry. Good luck!